Sin is a concept that has been present in many religions throughout history. Although it may have different meanings and interpretations, the concept of sin often refers to an immoral or wrongful act that goes against a religious or moral code. But how do different religions approach this idea? Let's dive in and find out. In Christianity, sin is seen as a transgression against God's will, which results in a separation from Him. Christians believe that sin entered the world when Adam and Eve disobeyed God in the Garden of Eden, and since then, all humans are born with a sinful nature. The only way to be redeemed from sin is through faith in Jesus Christ, who died on the cross to pay the price for humanity's sins. In Judaism, sin is viewed as a violation of God's commandments, but it is not seen as something that inherently separates humans from God. Instead, Jews believe that repentance and good deeds can lead to forgiveness and atonement for one's sins. The concept of sin is also tied to the idea of free will, and the belief that humans have the ability to choose between right and wrong. In Islam, sin is seen as a deviation from the path of God, which can result in punishment in the afterlife. Muslims believe that humans are born sinless, but can become tainted by sin through their own actions. The concept of sin is closely tied to the 5 pillars of Islam, which include acts such as prayer, fasting, and giving to charity. Muslims believe that by performing these acts, they can seek forgiveness for their sins and draw closer to God. In Hinduism, sin is seen as a hindrance to spiritual progress and can result in negative consequences in this life or the next. Hindus believe that karma, the law of cause and effect, plays a significant role in determining one's fate. Actions that are deemed sinful can lead to negative karma, which can result in suffering or rebirth in a lower form of existence. The goal of Hinduism is to achieve liberation from the cycle of rebirth and attain union with the divine. In Buddhism, sin is viewed as a form of ignorance or delusion that leads to suffering. Buddhists believe that all beings are subject to the law of karma, and that actions performed with good intentions lead to positive outcomes, while actions performed with harmful intentions lead to negative outcomes. The concept of sin is closely tied to the 4 Noble Truths, which state that suffering exists, suffering arises from craving and attachment, suffering can be overcome, and the path to the end of suffering is the Eightfold Path. In conclusion, while the concept of sin may differ among different religions, it is clear that it plays a significant role in shaping beliefs and practices. Whether viewed as a transgression against God, a violation of moral codes, or a hindrance to spiritual progress, the idea of sin reminds us of our human fallibility and the need for humility, repentance, and spiritual growth.